I'll give everybody a couple moments to join. While we're doing that, I want to wish everybody a happy holiday. We're on the precipice here of several, from Halloween to Samhain to Day of the Dead to Diwali. So to everybody that's celebrating something wonderful today, it's good to see you. I'm glad to have you here. All right, so Apollo's in the background. Let's tune in and say hi to this little guy first. He's resting as usual, ready to be entertained, right? This reading is one of my favorite ones each year. You can tell it's daytime in California, but I was trying to time this so that everybody on the East Coast and also especially in Europe and beyond still gets to enjoy, because I know it's evening time, Central European time, and it's even later or earlier when we go over to India or Australia or New Zealand. So thankfully with these sort of like 4 holidays, you can still touch into the energy one way or another, whether it's Halloween or the Day of the Dead or Diwali. It's all kind of happening over the next 24 to 48 hours. So welcome. When I was thinking about what to focus on today, I don't often kind of just look at messages from loved ones, but I thought today could be a great day to do that. And I thought that the central spread, the main Celtic cross, could almost be like a discussion from spirit, as if the person you love the most could take a look at your life and say, hey, I'm really proud of you here, or what are you doing wasting time on this? So I think that's how I'm going to do the first reading, from the perspective of someone that you missed, someone that's passed in spirit. For those of you that are lucky enough to not have anybody in spirit, we're going to look at it from the perspective of your higher self, which is just tuning in and helping you get perspective on your life. So I think this can help everyone. Spirit stepping in, helping us look at things, okay? So close your eyes, if you will, and imagine a beautiful white candle shining in front of you. Look at the flickering flame and connect with this feeling of safety, power, energy, a light in the dark. We'll also be looking at that particular form of a message a little bit later in the reading, but feel the light within and allow it to shine outward in all directions. And that's connecting you to your higher self, to your guides, your angels, and in this moment, anybody on the other side that you need or want to hear from, all right? I'm going to do my best as a reader and an intuitive to look at these messages from that perspective today. And I've picked, decks that even remind me of Halloween, either in the way that they're designed or some of the images that are on them. We already see a crow coming through. I actually have a brand new Oracle deck here that I'm going to use, the Crow Oracle, because I like the main card so much. By the way, I get questions all the time. This is an indie deck, so I can't link it. It's Tarot de St. Croix. Lisa de St. Croix is the one that produces it, and it's on her website. This one's interesting already. We have the observer here, which is just confirmation from spirit that you're being seen, you're being watched, your loved ones already sees you on the other side. An interesting thing, I had an intuition before my mom passed away. I knew that health was declining, that the time was near. And there was a moment where she was talking about a vision that she saw. She said, I felt like I was like on this big window or eye, and I could see you and I could see parts of your life, but I couldn't reach you. And at the time, I really didn't want to scare her with the vision or anything, but I knew exactly what that meant, which was, first of all, we would still have a connection when she passed, and secondly, she'd be frustrated that she couldn't be here in the flesh. At the time, I said, "Oh, don't worry. I think it's just it's just a matter of, control or whatever," because she really didn't want to talk about that, sort of like what happened, what it would be like when she wasn't here. But when I saw the observer, to me that rang a bell. So for many of you, your loved one's on the other side, but there is a frustration that you can't sense them, that you can't see them, that they can't connect with you in the same way that they used to, but they're watching in the best possible way. So if there's something that has gone on in your life, a wedding, promotion at work, overcoming something in your life that you've always been stressed out and trying to do, and you thought to yourself, I wish such and such was here, they are. They definitely are. In fact, they might be actually finding ways to help show you through signs, through people, through things that are being said, that this is okay. So look for other ways. Even if they can't literally be in the flesh talking to you, they can show you things around you, often in the way of like a song, maybe a billboard, and again, something that someone says that just sounds like your grandmother, your father, your friend. They're still here, okay? So that one popped out of the deck like loud and clear. Now let's go to the catalyst here. We have dominance coming through. So for some of you, there was a challenging relationship on the other side. The person maybe was the one that decided things, right? And this is your chance actually to come forth with more strength, power, and capability perhaps than you knew that you had. But you know what? It's always been there, folks. You find a strength that you maybe wouldn't have been able to otherwise when you're kind of in these moments of being alone, right? Because who else is going to figure it out but you? They can see the strength there. And I think that for some of them, they realized that they may have been overbearing. Parents do this a lot sometimes where, they're afraid that you're going to make a mistake, so they're constantly checking in and over-parenting. But this can come through from anybody that you loved, and maybe you just miss the strength. Maybe you just miss someone else making a decision. But the main thing that I'm getting from this is you've always had the capacity to manage on your own. You are going to do just fine in this moment, and there's a lot of, for some people, there's maybe a little bit of regret that they didn't let you find that strength earlier, but there's definitely pride that you are showing up and you are doing a great job, okay? So I know it's easier to have someone here driving the ship, but you're the one driving the ship right now, okay? Let's go to your center card. I mean, this is beautiful. The world card, what they wish for you is just expansion. And as much as we'd like to look backward or go back in time, that isn't how it works right now, not on this physical plane, not in the 3D plane. Now, the cool thing is, and this is just based on my own mediumship and connection with those who have passed, the more that I have interactions with former family members, it's interesting, the more almost supernatural that they become, because they'll show up as like a younger version of themselves, and pretty soon I start to see that they're picking up on memories of this life, of past lives. They can see forward and backward, and it's almost like the veil has been removed. And on this planet, it feels very dense sometimes, including right now. There's a lot going on. I almost have this sense of wanting to cry from the other side. Like there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of suffering, there's a lot of heavy energy right now. And what I'm getting from the other side is this is a beautiful space that we have. We create unnecessary drama. We're a little bit dramatic on this planet, aren't we? And I've heard comments from like astronauts that have a chance to look at the planet from a distance. And in an instant, you no longer care about borders, politics, who's right, who's wrong, because you realize just how special this planet is. So one thing that the other side is coming through, and again, I feel a little choked up. I feel like I want to cry, but it's kind of like they're saying, lighten up in the best possible way, but like find levity and joy, more love, more brightness, less of this focus on the heavy. And there is a lot of it right now. And I'm not diminishing the importance of it. But one of the beauties of all of the holidays that we're celebrating is finding light in the dark. We need to kindle the light. We need to find the commonalities between one another. And we need to come together as a planet. So it's a big message because I'm reading for everybody. And again, in this moment, I want to cry, and I don't know why. I think there is also just grief and sadness I'm picking up on. Now, if we take it past the planetary note, what Spirit's coming through, it's saying it happened so fast, it went so quickly. Like in the blink of an eye, I was here, then I was there. Some of you may have lost people that were, just very vibrant and you didn't expect it. Some people just didn't realize in their experience on this planet that there is going to be an endpoint, right? So there's a realization and an understanding and a desire from Spirit to want to impart on you, like, don't waste time sweating the small stuff. Go out and have fun today. Love someone. Experience joy. It happened, like life is over before you know it. Then we go through this whole process again. And it takes us so long to find wisdom and strength. And then all of a sudden we're like a little baby again, right? So I really want you to soak it in today and do something joyful and loving and send some love to someone else that's alive, including yourself, but also someone else, okay? I got to get off that card because it's heavy. But yeah, it happened quickly. And here's the other thing for some of you. Don't beat yourself up on looking at the past, thinking, if I had only called, if I had only checked in one more time, I wish I could have said this. It's done now. What's important is you use the lessons to live life from a different perspective now, where you don't waste time, where you don't mince words, and you don't like go to sleep fighting and things like that. Thankfully, because I was gifted the vision that there was shortening time, I saw it for both of my parents. I made sure that I cleared karma before they left, and that I didn't fight. And I didn't have, sort of like curt words or anything like that. But we shouldn't need a vision to act that way with friends, family, and loved ones, right? So that's kind of the message there. All right. Whew, deep breath. Okay, Eight of Swords. You're going to figure your way out of the situation that you're in right now. You may feel like you're kind of painted into a corner. And you think to yourself, I wish I could just pick up the phone and talk to this person. What they're saying is, just look a little bit this way or this way. You're too fixated in the I can't energy. I can't do this or it won't happen. So when you start to negate possibilities, you close doorways. You close off synchronicities before they even have a chance to happen. So the bird is not actually caged here. It feels like it's caged, but it's not. It's a prison of thought. So your loved one or loved ones are saying, think more in a liberated sense, less sort of closed down, okay? I didn't expect this was going to be so heavy, but the whole time I just want to cry. So I'm going to do my best to stay grounded. I don't do a lot of mediumship for this reason because it's hard, but I'm here to help today. Okay. Someone out there has a family member that liked to play matchmaker, and they're doing it from the other side. So we have a Four of Wands, and it's a couple things. It sounds more like a mom or an aunt, but they're like, get out there. Why aren't you getting out there more? They want you to meet new people. It could be friends, it could be a partner, because it is a very parental grandparent or aunt sort of thing to say, but like they want you to find love. For some of you that have lost your partner, they also want you to find love again. And so this card is about a synchronicity or a chance meeting that is en route, actually. So they're working from the other side to help you find love again, okay? Okay. And it's important. That's what this planet is for. We're supposed to come here to have a good time, to to experience joy. And if you truly had a loving relationship with somebody, the last thing they would want you to do is to just be alone. That's not the way to honor them. So you are given permission to love again. It's really important for those of you that didn't have a chance to live your truth. I think this is true of like maybe with parents that are on the other side, but it could even just be a close friend. But if you weren't able to tell them like who you were or be yourself, and you had to lie to like make them happy, they see the sort of like the reasoning behind it. So if you're beating yourself up and thinking, I wish I was more honest, sometimes we have to protect ourselves, right? And sometimes we live in societies or in families where there are people that are very strict. And, maybe what you wanted to do for a living, who you wanted to love, the way that you wanted to conduct yourself didn't align with their traditional viewpoint. And so you had to live in a cloaked sort of version of yourself, but you don't have to do that anymore. And they're not, it doesn't make you bad. They're not angry so much. I mean, it's more just, if anything, you have life review on the other side, so I think they're seeing their part of this. So live in truth. That's the takeaway now. Live in truth now. It's a lot easier. There's a lot less that you have to deal with when you do that, okay? Take a deep breath, everyone. Let's let go of anything that you've been holding on to for my sake so that I can continue to get through this, because I'm definitely feeling the heavier emotions today. Okay. It's your turn to find balance and to do the right thing in your life. It's a continuation of the previous one. And I feel like for some of you, it was difficult finding your footing when the person was alive. And for some of you, maybe they were your grounding stone and you just feel off kilter now. So this one is basically showing you that in this moment, you can reclaim the balance. You have to choose to do what's right. You have to choose to be yourself. And finding your voice is really, really important in this moment as well. And I'm just getting an intuitive download for some of you that needed to hear it. They're like, I'm sorry I didn't let you speak. Because I feel like some people just shut down the communication when you were trying to say something because they knew where it was going, but they didn't want to hear what you had to say. And that's on them. That wasn't right, okay? They're at peace. This is a really good card. The traditional one would show a sepulcher or a coffin, and then we just see a person in a resting state. And the 3 swords above represent the 3 swords that have healed, the heart that is healed. And then there's an ace, which represents new vitality beneath it. So for this one, they're at peace, and they want you to be at peace too. And they're like, I feel like some people could connect with you better if you do meditate more or really focus on connecting in dreams, because this is a sleeping card. So visitations, I mean, it happens for me too. I have people that will come in my dreams, like parents and aunts and other people, and they'll just kind of like brush your cheek or give you a kiss or whisper, I love you. So I feel like I'm being shown those visions. So I feel like some of the people that you love, that's the time where it's easiest to connect. And if you have a dream, a potent dream about them, it's not a dream, it's a visitation. And you can start to have more meetings with them in dreams if you want to. It's an easy way for spirit to communicate with you if you open yourself up to do it, okay? But all the struggle, the challenge that I was picking up on and feeling the emotions of and continue to feel the emotions of, it's no longer heavy on the other side, but they're acknowledging that it's harder for us here on this planet to sometimes just let it go, right? But you're allowed to move on. They're trying to help you find somebody new. They're reminding you how short and sweet this life can be, so let's really put some time and effort into making the most of it, folks, okay? This is really connected to those of you that celebrate Day of the Dead. Because I don't know all of the ins and outs of the holiday, but I believe you put photos up, right? You light candles and you put flowers. I don't know why I'm getting so emotional on this, but they see what you're putting out there. They appreciate the remembrance. It could also just be something that you've, like a little shrine or some object that you have that reminds you of them. Anyway, they see that. And it reminds them of this as well. There's also this message that I keep seeing the heart. It's like they're here, and all you have to do is remember them, and that's kind of tantamount to a phone call to spirit. So every time you touch that object, every time you go back and kind of walk down memory lane, they get that, they feel the emotions. It's kind of like a spotlight on the other side. Put out a photo of someone that you love today and say what you need to. You're looking at the photograph. They're looking at you look at the photograph. We're looking at the two sides of this, right? And so they see you. They see you. Okay. This is heavy. This is harder for me. This is why I don't do this style of reading all the time. And I have a lot of respect for people that do mediumship. It's a lot. All right, I've got the Father coming through for some of you, King of Pentacles, parental figure. And for some of you, it was a overbearing father, again, because we've got the dominance card here. They just want you to be happy. That's all that I'm getting from this. It's a very straightforward message. Are you happy? That's the question that I'm receiving. If you're happy, they're happy for you. You get to live life your way now, right? They just want you to also not struggle. And I feel like some of you might have been pushed into a path that it was more to secure their insecurities and worries. Like they struggled, they didn't want you to struggle. But know this, you don't have to prove yourself anymore. If you want to make a change, you can make a change. Clearly you were capable of taking care of yourself, but they couldn't see it then, but they can see it now. Slow down, slow down. There's too much going on. You're doing too much. Work, work, work. Or you're constantly going from one social engagement to another. Or you're watching TV and scanning TikTok. Slow down and tune in. This is a good card, Eight of Wands, but I'm reading it very differently as I'm looking at messages from the other side today. It's like we can get lost in the hustle and bustle of things and slow down to smell the flowers. If we look at this, we have pollinators, a bunch of bees, and one of my favorite symbols, the hummingbird. For me, whenever I see a hummingbird, it just shows me to elevate my thoughts, that spirit's right there, raise your frequency. So let's try not to numb ourselves with all of the different things that we can numb ourselves with: food, drink, TV, work, all these distractions. When you slow down long enough to tune in, just like me, it hits you, right? I do readings all the time, but this is a heavier reading, and the other side is like bombarding me with stuff. So slow down. I feel like there's so many people that want to connect with you. So please connect. Please put out a picture tonight, light a candle, and meditate and say a prayer. See what you feel. See what you remember. The way that intuition works, you're not always going to hear words. Mostly because when I'm working with tarot, it's a visual medium, so I'm shown visual symbols. When I do dream interpretation, I see, like I just did a reading for Gemini where I got very specific vignettes. So as you start to tap into your intuition, you're going to get different things. But tonight what I'm seeing is more like pictures. So if you just close your eyes, look at a picture, connect with the loved one, you might get memories, little flashbulb moments. Maybe you'll remember something, or it could be a smell, it could be food, it could be something like that. But This is the beginning of a mediumship journey if you want it to be. But the other side is definitely there. I'm picking up on it right now. And I'm encouraging you to connect more with them. Even if you're just talking to the picture, they hear you, okay? It's a great catharsis. It's a great way to get it out. I love you. I'm sorry. Why don't we talk more about this? Or if you just like to have a chat once a week with your mom or dad or whatever, give them an update on what's going on. They're going to be giddy on the other side, okay? Okay. The Seven of Cups. They're asking you what you want to, like, what are you trying to do? Some of you are just kind of like pinballing around from one thing to the next. This is a very parental thing too. And they're asking you to just be more deliberate is the word. More deliberate about, because they want you to stop spinning your wheels on something. Also stop thinking about someone. Someone out there you're obsessed over, like what a coworker thinks or why an ex isn't thinking. Like they're like, stop worrying about like that other person isn't even occupying, like you're not occupying the real estate in their mind. So they really want you to move on and to focus on one thing in the future that really matters most and just to be more deliberate because you're going to have more impact when you do that. Also that like you've just hit the tip of an iceberg. The Seven of Cups represents so many possibilities. So imagine the possibilities. Don't limit yourself. Continue to explore and see what's out there. Someone's asking, is this for a specific sign? Absolutely not. This is for anybody that showed up, whether you're watching it right now or later. We're not doing sign specific. This is people coming through for people that showed up. This is not even, I'm not going to even do sign-specific stuff on this. We'll save that for the weekly collective. We don't need it today. I'm doing mediumship. It's for people that chose to click on this video and come in. You'll get a message somewhere in here, so stick around. I'm also in just a really heightened emotional state, so I'm not being dismissive. I'm being direct because we have a lot to talk about today. Okay, let's expand this. We're going to take a look at, not that. We're going to look at this. Messages from the departed, because we're still in this topic, around these areas, probably where you want to get clarity. You're like, mom, dad, sister, brother, grandparent, what am I supposed to do in these areas? What do you think about these areas, right? Okay. Health. This is one area where I wish family was still around because there's no longer that, like, I couldn't remember if someone had a certain illness at a certain time or if my parents are gone and my grandparents are gone. And I have a few aunts and uncles, but like the large amount of people that could answer a question about family history, it's gone. So sometimes it's frustrating, right? Because you're trying to think, I wish I was listening better. I wish there were records. But now we're going to look beyond just that at like how you're living your life. Is it healthy? Because I feel like this is really the lens with which Spirit's kind of gazing in at this moment. Oh, this is cute. This is great, actually. So for some of you, maybe you just brought a pet into your life or a baby. I'm looking at this like fur baby, cat, etc. So that's great. They're happy. They're happy for you. And by the way, some of you might have lost a dog. I don't often read for pets, but the thing that your pet missed the most is the time you spent with them, especially for a dog. It's the walks and stuff. So just know that there's a lot of love and that energy's still around you, very much like the Fool card in tarot. So you've got a little like ghost dog around you in spirit, protecting you, helping you. Very much grateful for all the stuff you gave, but particularly those walks. If you had a cat, it could just be playtime, but we have pets coming through here in health. And if you were thinking, should I get another one? If you want to, yes. Dogs are also loyalty. And so if we abstract it beyond pets, the message from Spirit is just thank you for being loyal. And we're going to go beyond just health right now because that's what's coming through. So keeping your promise. Some of you you've either kept a tradition or a promise alive, and they're happy about that. As I look at all of the cards in front of me, there are a couple of things from a healthy living perspective that Spirit is bringing forth. These two cards are connected with burning out. So do less, do it better, rest, be more present. This is about living your authentic self and saying no, and not worrying like if people reject you, they don't love you if they can't see you as you are. So be authentic, slow down, take time to smell the flowers and to take in your sort of successes as they happen. And there is an encouragement to meet new people. It's going to help you feel happier. The pet can help. For those of you that are hurting, if you never had a dog, I'm so grateful for mine. I actually had someone the other day that said, you love your dog too much. I'm like, if that's the worst of my problems, so be it. And I don't think I do. It's just the perfect amount. We support one another. But pets are really great if you're grieving someone. They know exactly how you're feeling without you having to communicate. They know if you're sick. They know if you're sad. They tune in. So if you're going through something, a pet can be a very good way to pull yourself to the other side. It's not accidental, folks, that it's the first. You see it on The Fool, right? Taking the first step sometimes requires, you get unconditional love and healing from that pet. So it's a dog on the card, but it can be a cat, it can be a bird, it can be any type of pet, turtle, I don't care. But encouragement to connect with animals and nature as well, all right? That's pretty much it here. For some of you, there could be an encouragement to not ignore something. If there's something that you're like, this happened in my family, I hope it doesn't happen to me, just get educated. Like, for instance, this morning, I feel like I'm fine, but because I was sick, I thought, let's go ahead and get a couple of tests that were issues with my family, but I'm working hard not to have an issue. So on my mom's side, there's a lot of diabetes. So I'm always very careful about diet, exercise, sugar, all of that. So I had an A1C test just to see where I'm at. I was good earlier this year, but I'm like, let's just check that out. And then cholesterol and stuff like that. I go to a heart specialist because my dad had issues. So as you start to get older, you just choose to be smarter and get informed. So this is don't ignore stuff. By the way, it's also hearing and seeing. And if it's been a while since you've had a test, get that. I think I just got that for Gemini too. Anytime you see eight of swords or two of swords, it's about not ignoring something or paying attention to these two sensory organs in particular. Okay, let's move on. Let's go to wealth. Don't beat yourself up. Unfurl the wings of forgiveness. The card is in reverse. Wow, look at all the beautiful flying insects on that. We have like moths, we have a dragonfly, we have butterflies, and we have just a beautiful bird as well. So if you made mistakes, like you got into debt or made a bad investment or you just didn't do something that you wanted to do, forgive yourself and learn from it. This whole planetary experience is about, and I know I talked to Gemini about this, I think I even titled it, It's Not About Perfection. It's about iterative progress. So Geminis, I guess some of you needed to hear this again, but everybody can benefit from this. There may have been a very strict person in your life, again, I keep getting parental energy here, but that judged you too harshly. So we're in wealth, but that also goes back to school and just life. They were constantly like, you're not good enough, right? And then that imprints a tape recording in our head where we keep playing it. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. You are good enough. Let it go. Let the thought process go, and don't let the words of someone who lacked foresight continue to block you. It could also just be a teacher or someone who just said something and it got stuck. So Spirit wants you to unstick that, to remove it, to liberate it, to let it go. And also just, I'm looking at unfurl. There's like a lot of tight energy here with this. So do something for stress relief to let all of this kind of, to be released a little bit. Okay? Okay. Love. We got the pig coming through on this one. it's totally connected to what we just talked about. It was reversed. So don't put so much energy into this. Affluence, fortune, maybe a little bit more in the intelligence, but there could have been someone who made you feel less than, that you couldn't do it, that you weren't intelligent, that you weren't deserving. So Spirit's coming through and saying, stay affirmative. Believe in your ability to create abundance. Trust in your intelligence. This is a very smart animal. And know that you can think your way through any challenge in this moment in time. In relationships, you also are deserving of something better. This is it's an interesting message. For those that have loved and lost, it's almost like an apology. I'm sorry I wasn't better. You deserve better. It's kind of the way this one's coming through. And you will find better too. But you have to work on that self-worth component. And if you can do that, then you'll be all right. We already talked about this one. On some levels, there's pride, but on other levels, there's almost surprise and disbelief. Like, oh my gosh, look at you. Look at where you are. I had no idea this was possible. But also, that is just proof that we need to look beyond what other people think we can do. I've talked about this before, but like when I just was in a bad school system in the kindergarten, first and second grade, but particularly kindergarten and second grade. Because there were teachers that didn't like me because I had like a giggle and a laugh and I was joyful and I had a hard time concentrating, and they told my parents, he'll never graduate. You'll be lucky if he even gets through high school. So again, to spite them, I went all the way to graduate school. I was like, I'll go as far as I want to and I'll show you what's possible. So sometimes people just don't see you. But you have limitless possibilities. You need to just start to project your own truth out there, okay? And they're just watching and having a great time seeing what you're doing. So you have surprised and even showed some of them, wow, that was possible, right? Okay. All right. We'll pull one more card, and then I'm going to go on to some of the other topics. Focus on a single question, wishing that partner, that person, whoever it is, parent, person, partner, I don't care, whoever it is that you want to have in person, ask them a question. Wow, okay. So I'm just going back to this. This isn't the final card. This is just the final card of this section. It's so much easier on the other side to sort of just understand how all of this works. One thing that they're literally showing in this card is that there's a light at the end of the tunnel and that death is a beginning. So they can continue to help you from the other side. Look at how happy the skeleton is with the key. They're like, try this, look at this. You have everything it takes. It's kind of like the Hierophant key. Without needing the Hierophant, without needing the other, person that's working with you. It's like, you can do this solo. It's a skeleton key. So if you're asking yes or no, can I do it? You've always had the capacity to do it, yes. If you're asking yourself, how am I going to figure it out? You just will figure it out. You have the solutions within. You have to tune into your intuition. But they're also working to help you see the light and the light at the end of the tunnel. You're also meant to change in this moment. And death is one of the most powerful and important things that we experience. Somewhere on my podcast, I'll talk a little bit more about this. It is a heavier topic. And I may do some writing or some other things in this sort of general vicinity because it is really important. I would say the single most powerful thing, like losing both parents, but especially losing my mom, that absolutely changed who I am. I'm not the same person that I was a couple of years ago. Because and when you have no siblings or no partner, it really kind of like, it's your path. You have to sort of like show up and be stronger. And so I totally relate with the death card there. It's about you deciding, what do I want to do on this journey? So we have the illusion sometimes that we're living our life with and for everyone else. But the truth of it is, we came here to discover things about ourselves. So Spirit's getting you back into tuning in. You can do that while partnered, while having children, while having a rich group of friends and family around you, but never lose focus from the central journey of inner discovery as well, because sometimes we get distracted. So tune into that and know that you've got everything that it takes to face anything in your path, with or without the help of people around you. You are the key. Which sign did I say this month? You're the puzzle piece. That's very aligned to that as well. I can't remember if it was Cancer or... Well, it was one of the signs this month where I channeled the missing puzzle piece, so this is in alignment with that as well. Okay, that was heavy. That was intense. But that's what I would expect when we're looking at mediumship. All right, so let me take a moment here to look at some of the other things that we were going to talk about. And I'm also going to just refresh for, let's see, for both members and Patreon supporters, I was looking to see. I think that all of you are okay with the topics I chose, so I appreciate that. I'm just going to move forward intuitively. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the other things here. I'm going to go back to just the title of this too. So, okay, the light, I feel like it's a really important time to find light in the dark. And then we'll look at healing the shadow side. But for those of you that are just feeling sad or depressed or like, I don't know what to do, what can we do in this moment to bring more light into the moment? That's the message right now. We're going to do a past, present, future spread on this one. So very interestingly enough, here we have the Eight of Swords coming through again. So just as your loved ones were saying, what we're seeing here, just generally speaking from Spirit, is to imagine beyond what you can see. So this is, I mean, I seriously doubt there are skeptics that are watching this, but if there are, this is also for you. It maybe is more for the people that are evidentiary folks, like I have to see it to believe it. But again, I have to believe that most of you that are watching already are open. Just because it is not around you, just because it hasn't been done before, just because there are no examples, does not mean that it is impossible. It just means that it isn't present. So when it comes to doing something in your life, where there's a will, there's a way. You're also not alone. This card feels isolated, but it's not. Interestingly enough, I mean, this is the Crow deck, and I was using the other one, Tarot de St. Croix, before. And I mentioned that the bird wasn't actually caged in, but it felt like it. So there's something in the current environment or circle of friends or situation that is cutting your viewpoint off, and Spirit wants you to move yourself out of it and get a different perspective. There's something that could even be unhealthy about where you're at right now. And if you allow yourself to go on a break or work or spend time with a different person or get an outside perspective, the view changes. So you need to get out, you need to change the environment. If you can dream it, you can do it. The Two of Wands is about daydreaming, imagining, putting yourself out there. And this is a time to really imagine the possibilities. And do something creative, by the way. If it's been a minute since you've had a chance to really, sort of like, whether that's art, dance, music, I don't care. The Two of Wands is a card that through visual stimulus kind of helps you, or stimuli can help you get there. So do something creative that will help as well. Just as a connection of what I was just talking about, 10 of Wands is usually letting go and moving on, and that is another thing that we'll look at here in a moment. It just reminded me. You don't need to carry the load on your own. You're doing too much. So now we have like the parental message coming through one more time. Move on, let it go. Don't feel like you have to keep carrying the weight of the world anymore. It's not going to help. It's not healthy. There's better things that you can focus on. The light and the dark, though, in this one is really about allowing yourself to imagine beyond two things. This feeling of being stuck, and then sometimes we are goal-oriented and we think, well, when this happens, then I'll be happy. This is showing you that there's always going to be something beyond that. So to keep dreaming, keep imagining, keep reaching, have fun, and get out there and see the world a little bit, because typically this person's holding a globe. And we have the world at the center, so Spirit wants you to get out there just a little bit more. Okay, what do you need to let go of? We're going to look at it this way. What are you holding on to, and how can you release it? That's going to be easier for me to read. What are you holding on to? What do you need to release? Or how are you going to release it? Oh my gosh, with the Eight of Swords, it keeps coming through in every possible version. Holding on to. Some of you are in a job that just doesn't inspire. It could be causing stress, anxiety. You might not get being paid enough. You could be in a relationship where the work isn't worth it. The other partner's not giving what you are giving. So whatever it is where you feel like there's a lack of progress, you're just spinning wheels, literally. Permission, acknowledgement. It's okay to move on. You've done as much as you can do. This Eight of Swords has somebody that's holding you back. And this is because the other person doesn't know what to do without you. These two could be connected. For some of you, you might be in either a relationship or a job where the person says, "What will I do without you?" You can't leave because I'm not going to be able to handle. That's codependency. That's what we see here. This is someone pulling you back or holding you back. Don't let something hold you back, right? How can you find your strength in this moment when that might be happening? Ten of Swords. Okay, you have a choice right now to not experience the Ten of Swords. So Ten of Swords reversed is kind of like the Tower reversed. You get enough of a warning sign that it's a matter of just extricating yourself and saying, okay, yeah, I don't need to go there. I don't need to feel that. I understand. This is a dead end. Like we actually literally have like the hand of death here. So there's something here where it's not worth the heartache, and I'm just getting a confirmation on that. So I feel like you've done as much as you can on something, and it's time to move on. That's the message here. And this is specifically for those of you that feel like you're spinning your wheels, or that someone is holding you back because they say that they can't do it, or that, you know, just like you have to stay, you can't go. That should be a big old red flag when somebody says that. All right, let's see. What else do I want to use? Maybe I'll use a black and white deck. I haven't used this in a while. Okay, let me look real quick at what I wrote as well here. So healing the shadow, that's important. Okay, so we kind of found the light in the darkness. Let's look at the shadow. Oh, no, we were looking at letting go. So healing the shadow and light in the dark. Okay, so what kind of shadow energy are some of you dealing with in this moment? This is the thing that we don't deal with. Like it's the inner saboteur that keeps coming through. Past, present, future. Okay, these are pretty strong cards, and they're pretty good cards. So one of the things that I'm seeing here for shadow energy is having an idea but not following through on it. Knowing that something's possible but just letting it sit there. This torch needs to be lit. Aces are potential, but they require follow through. So what are you doing in this moment to create a next step, to create some follow through, to create some movement? There may be someone in your life, again, that you're used to having in the driver's seat, that you let sometimes overpower your voice or your will. And so another thing that we're seeing here is reclamation of power In existing relationships, this does not have to be with people that are departed now. We're just looking at inner shadow. It can be anywhere. So the Strength card reminds you you have the ability to stand up to that, and you have what it takes to go to the next level, and that you don't need to be quiet. Contrary to what like teachers and parents sometimes say, be quiet, don't speak up, don't make a commotion. Like in life, sometimes you have to make a commotion to get things done. And with the Hermit card here, a couple of things. First of all, the work that you're doing is helping you more than you might imagine. So for those of you that have started something new, whether it's education, counseling, training, learning, self-discovery, intuitive development, more of that. The Hermit holds the star. The star will help you find your voice, find your vision, and get into that sense of feeling empowered. So just keep it up. And really, the main thing here is you have the wisdom, you have the strength to make this happen. We're kind of like fast forwarding into the future, and I still see some of us stuck here on, I want to do this, but I don't know. Yes, you do. You can, you will, you are. You have to kind of like move it from idea stage into action. Okay? All right. And now let's take a look at what you need to know the most in this moment in time. This is what I see, to get out of your own way. Spirit's being very kind of like direct and parental today. So what do you need to do to get out of your own way? Don't be so self-critical. Simply allow yourself to explore the possibilities. I can do this. I will do this. I am doing this. And then follow up with taking action. So I can, I will, I am being the most important pieces of that. And signing on the dotted line, rather than dragging your feet, it's time to create some movement and some motion in your life. Okay. I think we covered everything. I know I went through a lot here today. How's everybody doing? Hopefully you enjoyed this. This was more intense than I thought it would be. Sometimes these are fun, sometimes these are heavy, but because I started off with messages from the departed, it was a little bit heavier and more intense, but I hope it facilitated healing for those of you that needed healing. So I want to end on a note of light, so this will help all of us. So from Spirit and the guides, show us some things that we can look forward to and show us a way to cultivate our light in this moment in time. And they're the brightest cards that I've pulled all of this reading today. All really powerful, by the way. So look at the cards of action here, a knight and a page. Some of you could actually meet a partner or a great connection. This could be an ally, a lawyer, an agent, a friend, a mentor, or a lover. But what we're seeing here is someone who's ready to help you or travel with you to that next sort of milestone. Also, any effort that you put in personal development, project development, moving the needle forward, we see the effort, we see the magic, we see the result here where someone says, yeah, I like what you have to offer. Yes, I'm interested. So that's pretty awesome as well. One of the things that you can focus on in this moment is spiritual development, creativity, and really thinking in a unlimited perspective. We see blessings when it comes to resources and abundance. We have a lot of solar plexus energy with all the gold energy that's coming forth. So finding a sense of worth and power, which then empowers all of these cards as well. Good stuff, folks. And that's everything. As a medium, because I have more videos to do, I have to do 2 more videos today. I'm going to do the Taurus video and a daily, so I have to save some energy for that. I do hope you enjoyed this. This was the most powerful, for sure. Oops. This was definitely the most powerful. We just lost the... Sorry, it went to the floor for no reason. This was the most powerful reading that I've done with respect to Halloween ever, for sure. And but it was also a lot of fun. So thank you so much for being a part of this. All right, let's take a couple moments here, and I want to say thanks to anybody that gave back in the way of super stickers, super chat, or memberships. All right. Spirit was having fun with the cameras there for a second. Literally, one of them is pointing in a direction like at the wall that it shouldn't. So, gotta love the ETs and the spirits when we're doing these types of readings. Okay, so for members, welcome back. We only have a couple during the live stream here to, let's see, is it Katidra? I hope I said it correctly. And Ms. A. Thank you guys for being a part of this. Actually, I think I might have some bonus ones for today. Let me see if I can gift a membership or two. I think that would be a nice trick or treat. Let me see if I have it within my capacity. I was saving. I do. All right. Happy Halloween. I didn't announce this, but welcome to the folks that just got gifted a membership by me. I knew I was saving it for a reason. There you go. There's your trick or treat today. All right. So 5 new ones. Welcome. All right. Also, I would like to say thanks to those that's why you want to stick around until the end. Okay, some super stickers here. Raven, RB, Jenny, Southern Girl, Leslie, and Jess. Thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed this, please let me know. Leave a comment below. Let me know which message most connected with you and your loved ones. And you know, I definitely read everything, and today was such a heavy one. I actually want to see that. So let me know in the comments what really meant a lot to you. Also, I wanted to, say thank you to Hero, I think it is, for 7 months of membership. I just saw that pop up as well, and much appreciated. If you like this, a couple quick things that you can do to show support. Subscribe, share this, click the share button underneath and let people know about it. And I also posted across social media, so you can take my post and share it on Facebook or on Twitter or on Instagram, share it to your story, let other people find this video, and that's a great way to share the love. If you want to give back, you can do that through super stickers, super chat, and memberships. Just a reminder, I don't give private readings. I don't use direct messages for any purpose, business related, so please avoid anyone that's doing that. And that's everything for today. Thank you for allowing me to show up and do an impromptu. I'm gonna take a walk, take a deep breath, focus, and then get ready to do a Taurus reading. For those that keep asking in comments, waiting for Taurus, waiting for Aries, I posted the schedule. Taurus will come later tonight, possibly in the wee hours of the morning, and Aries sometime tomorrow. Then I'm going to flip it around and it will be fair, and you guys will get them first. I was getting over a cold this month. I'm better now, but it was a lot. It was almost 12 days of me being sick. So all I could really do was the daily and the weekend ones, and I just had to rest. So self-care first. I know you guys understand. But I'm giving you a bunch of bonus stuff here at the end here, and I hope you appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. Lots of love and light. Check out the weekly if you haven't already, the daily. And like I said, by tomorrow, we'll have all of them done. But right now, everything except for Taurus and Aries is finished. Taurus, you'll get a gift later tonight on Halloween. All right, guys, have a great one. Lots of love and light. Until I see you next time.